Welcome to this explainer. The second you hear that piercing cry of a trumpet and the rhythmic strum of a vihuela, boom, you are instantly transported to Mexico. But today, we're going way beyond just that highly recognizable sound. We're going to unpack the deep history, the incredible structure, and really the profound cultural heartbeat of mariachi. Now, it's super easy to look at a musical performance and just kind of see the surface value, right? The toe-tapping rhythms, the bright melodies. But mariachi, it goes far beyond simple entertainment. It is quite literally the soundtrack of a nation's soul. It's the vessel used to tell the most universal stories of human existence. We're talking love, family, grand celebrations, crushing heartbreak, fierce patriotism, and unwavering faith. It's really the music of everyday life, all wrapped up into a globally recognized art form. Let's jump into Section 1, the heartbeat of Mexico, a living symbol. Let's begin by tracing the deep historical roots of this incredibly vibrant music. Because at its core, mariachi isn't just some genre you casually pull up on a playlist. No, it is a living, breathing symbol of Mexican identity. And the absolute keyword there is living. This isn't some dusty historical relic, it's an active tradition. It preserves history through sound while simultaneously uniting totally different generations all around the world today.
So if we actually travel back in time to the 18th and 19th centuries in the rural regions of western Mexico, specifically the state of Jalisco, we see the earliest ensembles really starting to come together. And quick side note, while there's a popular myth that the word mariachi comes from the French word for marriage, its true roots run much, much deeper. The tradition actually evolved from a really rich, complex cultural crossroads of indigenous, Spanish, and African musical influences. These rural musicians were literally the lifeblood of their communities, entertaining crowds during weddings, religious festivals, civic celebrations, and intimate family gatherings.
Moving right along to Section 2, Evolution to the Silver Screen. From rural origins to a global icon.
The evolution of this sound was honestly incredibly rapid. We start out in those 18th and 19th century rural communities in Jalisco, right? But by the early 20th century, mariachi musicians began migrating to Mexico City. And this was a massive turning point. With the advent of radio, recordings, and eventually film, mariachi was suddenly introduced to national and international audiences. And then, bam, we hit the mid-20th century, Mexico's golden age of cinema. During this era, mariachi absolutely exploded into an enduring cultural icon. Oh, and it was also during this rapid evolution that trumpets were gradually added to the ensembles, giving mariachi that brilliant, piercing sound that is now completely inseparable from the genre.
Which brings us to Section 3, Anatomy of the Sound, the instruments of mariachi.
To truly appreciate this music, you kind of have to understand how its rich, energetic wall of sound is constructed, layer by layer. Let's look at how 5 distinct musical roles work together. First up, the violin. This is responsible for carrying those sweeping, lyrical melodies. Next, the trumpet steps in to provide those brilliant fanfares and dramatic countermelodies. Then we have the vihuela, which is an instrument that contributes really bright, driving, rhythmic patterns. After that, the classical guitar steps in to fill out the lush harmony. And finally, anchoring the entire group, we have the large, deep-bodied guitarron, providing incredibly powerful bass lines. When you put all of this together, man, it creates a completely unmistakable, full-bodied resonance. Now for Section 4, the songs and the suit, repertoire and visual elegance.
But hey, the instruments are really only half the story here. Mariachi is incredibly diverse in its musical styles. The repertoire includes everything from the traditional son jalisciense and rancheras to romantic boleros, huapangos, lively polkas, waltzes, and even modern compositions. And the lyrics? They are a direct mirror to the human experience. They celebrate romance, courage, the beauty of nature, fierce national pride, and all the profound joys and sorrows of life. And what makes this so incredibly special is that these performances actively invite audiences to sing along, creating this deeply shared emotional experience between the musicians and the listeners.
And to perfectly match the emotional power of those songs, the performers wear the iconic and highly dignified charro suit. This is actually a direct nod to Mexico's equestrian heritage. We are talking about beautifully embroidered jackets, fitted trousers adorned with striking silver ornaments, decorative bow ties, classic boots, and of course, you can't forget the wide sombreros. It creates this dignified appearance that deeply honors tradition, all while adding an undeniable visual elegance to every single performance.
Let's wrap up with Section 5, a global musical heritage beyond the borders of Mexico.
So, you might be wondering, why does a tradition born centuries ago in rural Mexico continue to resonate so deeply today?
Well, the fact is, mariachi thrives today not just throughout Mexico, but across the United States, Latin America, Europe, and Asia. It matters because it's a living art form. Schools and universities all over the world actually teach mariachi performance now. Massive festivals attract thousands of dedicated musicians. And new generations are constantly stepping up, innovating the sound, while still deeply, deeply respecting the tradition.
And the answer to its undeniable global impact was permanently cemented in 2011. This was the year UNESCO officially recognized mariachi, string music, song, and trumpet as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. I mean, that is a monumental designation, completely proving just how vital this music is to the global cultural fabric. With its being performed in a small village plaza, a grand international concert hall, or just an intimate family celebration, mariachi preserves history through music. As a living art form, it proves that music has the unique power to express identity, memory, resilience, and joy. It constantly brings people together across vastly different cultures and generations, serving as just a beautiful reminder of our shared human heritage.
Thank you so much for joining this explainer today. As mariachi continues to evolve and cross oceans, it raises a really fascinating question. How will the next generation of global musicians adapt this centuries-old tradition to tell the stories of tomorrow? Definitely think about that the next time you hear those iconic trumpets ring out. And to keep exploring the world's most fascinating musical traditions, customs, and stories, be sure to subscribe to Sphereblend.